Coming up on AgweekTV, the trade war escalates between the U.S. and China.
I'm Spencer Chase in Washington, where Ag Secretary Sonny Perdue is offering an update on the Department of Agriculture's trade assistance package.
We'll tell you about an unusual financial meltdown for a grain elevator in Grant County, Minnesota.
We'll talk about the grain storage crunch with low grain prices here from Husker Harvest Days. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Michelle Rook. The trade war with China has escalated, with the U.S. slapping another 10% tariff on $200 billion of Chinese imports, ramping up to 25% by year-end. China reciprocated with $60 billion in tariffs on U.S. goods. Senator Heidi Heitkamp says the president's approach to trade isn't working and has put agriculture in a crisis.
The last recorded month of trade deficits, we had a record low deficit imbalance with China. So even though we're in this trade war, the results are moving the other direction.
She told Secretary Perdue if USDA is going to provide trade aid, it should be meaningful and keep producers in business. The Secretary admits they may need to make changes in the second round of trade aid payments if they're needed. He sat down with Spencer Chase to talk about when and if that will happen.
In an effort to lessen the blow of the ongoing trade war, USDA has already sent market facilitation program checks to farmers and ranchers across the country for its first round of allocations. But Ag Secretary Sonny Perdue says the department might make some changes if it issues the second round of payments.
We're not smart enough to say we just nailed it perfectly the first time. But there again, you have to be very concerned about making iterative changes over everything that comes along. So we're trying to balance that and be very sensitive to people that have a reasonable discussion.
One area for change might be the August 1st inventory requirement for hog producers. As for when a second round of payments might be sent out, Perdue says USDA hasn't decided yet. But Perdue says the Trump administration only plans to offer this assistance for producers in 2018.
I don't think it's in anyone's best interest to send a signal that other than the farm safety net that we have out there and crop insurance, that this is anything more than a 2018 kind of issue. And the reason we felt compelled, the president talked about that, was these were things that were not contemplated when the seeds were put in the ground in the spring.
Reporting for AgweekTV, Spencer Chase, AgriPulse.
The trade war has devastated grain prices, and Western Corn Belt soybean farmers have been hit the hardest with their dependence on the China market. This, combined with a record crop in states like Nebraska, means farmers will store more grain and wait for better prices. I talked to farmers at Husker Harvest Days about the storage crunch. In fact, basis normally runs 70 cents to $1 for soybeans in Nebraska, but is now historically wide and will get worse at harvest.
Bad as it's ever been. $1.40 for me on new crop, which I think my worst before that was $1.20.
Since most of the beans in Nebraska go to China, some elevators aren't even bidding because of the uncertainty of the trade war.
They can bid, but I don't think anybody's selling, so, I've heard of a few taking bids away.
And other elevators have also stopped writing DP or deferred pricing contracts. So farmers like Doug Sadoff have no choice but to store, and the market is signaling storage as well.
Just going to tuck it away in our bins as best we can. Even the beans we can't store, we'll store in town. I think we'll even pay in, whatever, a nickel a month.
As a result, farmers have put up more long-term storage and are even trying to get bins put up yet this fall.
There's been a few gone up. We put up 100,000 bushel storage here this fall, late summer, so not enough, obviously.
Others will pile corn on the ground or use temporary storage, and that's why these bagging units have been so hot at shows.
Very popular. It doesn't seem like we can keep them enough around. A lot of interest.
So storage will be at a premium until something changes to improve grain prices. Critics and supporters of a proposed pig farm near Devil's Lake had the chance to speak out at two state hearings. Grand Prairie Agriculture would house 2,500 sows and produce nearly 72,000 pigs to be shipped out for finishing. The site is about 10 miles from the city of Devil's Lake, but just 1 mile from the lake. That's a concern for members of the Spirit Lake tribe. Much of the lake is on Spirit Lake Nation land, and they fear the farm could contaminate local waters.
Over the course of time, there will be enough to affect the groundwater, the surface water. Eventually, it will affect our aquifers and our drinking water.
Project supporters argue there are rules in place to protect the environment and ensure food safety. The State Health Department is still taking questions by mail and will post answers on their website. A decision on the project could take 90 days. The U.S. Department of Transportation is still accepting public comments about proposed changes to the hours of service rules. They've proposed more flexibility for livestock haulers, including expanding the short haul exemption from 12 hours on duty to 14 hours and extending the 14-hour on-duty limitation by up to 2 hours in adverse driving conditions. This will allow more humane transport of animals.
It should help ease some of the restrictions and problems that we've been experiencing. So hopefully they can even go a little bit further with the livestock specific end of it and even help us out a little bit more.
The DOT is also revising the current mandatory 30-minute break after 8 hours of continuous driving. Plus, it reinstates the option to split the required 10-hour off-duty rest break for drivers operating trucks with sleeping areas. A Minnesota elevator closes and the manager disappears after it's discovered millions of dollars is missing. The story's up next on AgWeek, plus this week's market analysis.
My name's Joel Kaler, owner-operator of Kaler Farms in Lidgerwood, North Dakota. We make a patented product called a cornstalk guide. Helps guide corn stalks into the grabs and the chains a lot smoother without losing corn. The corn stalk, when it comes off of our product, it's already on the gathering chain instead of being able to hit that idler. Our product will keep all the wear off the snout and get it to come into the head smoother without bouncing.
Luckin Trucks and Parts sells quality used parts for all makes and models. With over 50 acres of trucks and parts and new inventory arriving daily. Family owned and operated since 1966, Luckin's specializes in the sale of quality used medium to heavy duty truck parts as well as pre-owned trucks, trailers, and construction equipment. If it's on a truck, we got it. Call us today and let us get you your part.
When harvest comes around, time is precious and you don't have a moment to waste. North Star Ag offers the Lofness GrainLogix Grain Bag Loader to deliver versatile grain storage performance load after load. Lofness's user-friendly grain baggers are easy to load and unload, perfect to get your harvest in the bag. North Star Ag also sells a variety of Valmar spreaders, the leader in air boom delivery, and is a full-service Meridian hopper bin dealer. Visit NorthstarAg.com to see our complete new and used equipment inventory or give us a call.
When grain flow becomes blocked in your bin, it can cause costly delays, safety concerns, and expensive equipment repairs. Superior Grain Equipment's premium unloading system, featuring their patented Blockbuster auger, keeps you and your equipment running safely and efficiently by breaking up blockages near the center sump gate to allow for continuous grain flow. Operated from outside the bin, the Blockbuster can be engaged independently from the sweep, eliminating the need to enter the bin to clear blockages. Superior products for superior bins. Only available from Superior Grain Equipment.
If you get right down to it, what's a farmer's job? Well, farmer's job is to feed people. Farmers collectively, our job is to feed the world. At Peterson Farm Seed, we get to have a little bit bigger picture right in our region. We get to help those farmers that we work with increase their productivity, increase the yields that they get on their farms, and as a result, more people can eat.
AgweekTV, presented by Kaler Farms.
Ashby, Minnesota is dealing with a big blow. The co-op grain elevator closed suddenly on September 14th, and the manager has disappeared. Investigators believe the manager stole more than $2 million from the elevator, and as Mikkel Pates reports, the number is expected to grow.
Unexpected. Never dreamt anything like this would happen.
The Ashby Farmers Elevator is looking at questionable transactions over the past 10 years by their manager, Jerry Hennessy.
Any business closing in the city, in the small city, is devastating.
Grant County Sheriff Troy Langley was asked to investigate when financial irregularities were discovered, but says it's too early to speculate on charges.
It's a lot of data that we're sorting through to try to determine what actually transpired up there.
Attorney Eric Algren was called in to help sort things out after the elevator manager disappeared.
And we learned there was a big discrepancy between what the financial statements showed as inventory on hand and what we actually had in the bins.
Algren is still going through the books, but so far he's found $2 million missing and expects to find more. He's alleging Hennessy spent it on high-ticket items like safaris.
We found checks of over $500,000 to a taxidermist, over $375,000 directly to individuals associated with safari companies, $1.1 million in checks written to the Cabela's Club Visa.
Ashby business owner Todd Finkelson is concerned about the impact on the community, farmers, and the elevator's employees.
What's next, and how big is it, and how is it going to affect our local farmers?
The elevator was unable to get a line of credit to continue operating and is now for sale. In Ashby, this is Mikkel Pates for Ag Week.
Mikkel will have more on this story, including a sobering member meeting in the next Ag Week magazine. And now here's John with our agri-weather outlook for the upcoming week.
Weather portion of Ag Week now. It has taken until the middle of September, but fall weather has finally made an appearance, and it looks like it will linger. It's here because of a West Coast rebuilding of high pressure. I'll show you that coming up. It's allowed fall temps to drop into at least the northern plains, but lingering hot, humid weather does continue through many parts of the eastern United States, and that has an impact on the rainfall. So here's the jet stream pattern right now, still meandering around the U.S., but there's this ridging of high pressure that is taking place along the West Coast, and that is allowing cool weather to drop down into the northern plains. The heat wave has definitely receded. It's only really warmer than average for hot weather, really in far southern parts of the nation, but a lot of fairly warm weather around. Now, as we go through the week, there will likely be a few spots of the northern plains that dip down cold enough to get some scattered frosts, maybe even a few freezes here and there. The really cold stuff, daytime highs below freezing, is finally dropping down into the Hudson Bay region. So that has an impact. By the end of the week, big ridge of high pressure along the West Coast. That will keep most of the northern plains and Corn Belt much cooler than it's been. Going into the second week, it will basically stay the same. There'll be a little bit of variance, but there will continue to be cool temperatures, meaning we're talking late September, early October, continued cool weather. With this dip in the jet stream, fairly wet weather this week setting up through much of the central Corn Belt. However, in the really cool weather, anything would be just nuisance-type showers. Might be a couple of times where we get some snow on the map into Canada. I don't think it'll be that cold, except maybe for a stray flurry in any part of the U.S. As far as the continuation of precipitation into the second week, another round of central plains and Midwest storms, but overall, the precipitation pattern should begin to quiet down. So finally, because of the ridge, a little fall.
Aspire is a premium delivery of boron. It's a potash source that has two forms of boron in it. One form of boron is available early in the crop needs, and then we have another form of boron that's more of a slow release. So throughout the whole growth stage or a cycle of a crop, you need to teaspoon feed that crop, especially with these micronutrients. If you need to learn more about boron, what does boron do within the plant? So we have aspireboron.com. There's also cropnutrition.com.
Advanced Grain Handling is your regional dealer for grain handler dryers, bins, and accessories. With Grain Handler's continuous mixed flow drying systems, you're capable of high levels of grain dryer efficiency on all types of grain, including seed grain. Advanced Grain Handling also carries West Steel's quality stainless steel products for on-farm and commercial grain storage solutions. Advanced Grain Handling has licensed and trained service techs and a licensed electrical shop. Get a hold of Chad Kylo to find the perfect solution for your farm.
When the water's high and your yields are low, 'cause your fields have no place for water to flow, just one call takes care of it all. Call on Field Drainage Incorporated. Call on Field Drainage Incorporated. Call on Field Drainage.
Martinson Ag Risk Management offers a variety of crop marketing and crop insurance packages to our customers. With over 40 years of experience, our dedicated staff works hard to ensure you get the best advice on crop insurance, marketing, and risk management. Contact Randy or any of the staff at Martinson Ag Risk Management today at 701-205-4200 or visit us online at martinsonag.com.
Giving farmers access to data from the elevator right in their pocket. Helping them make better decisions. No more keeping track of paper scale tickets. Innovation. It's always been a part of the farming culture. Integrating directly with elevators to give growers real-time information, all through a mobile app. Your elevator, powered by Bushel.
Welcome back. Joining us with market analysis this week is Christy Van On. And of course, the grain markets, we're in that process of kind of trying to find a harvest bottom, aren't we?
Yeah, and usually it typically happens the first week of October. Could be happening a little bit sooner this year just because of all the situations going on. One thing to watch is just the fact that there's a lot of information out there as far as what's going to happen on an outside perspective. It's not just about the U.S. right now. You have your trade wars. You also have some production problems as far as it goes for wheat. And so there's a lot of different stories coming into this. It's not just about what we're going to yield this year. There's a lot of components to it. On a technical side of things, you're also looking to find a bottom as far as it goes for some price counts, and you've really started to achieve that support level on a double bottom here across the charts.
Can you really see the market, even if we find a bottom, really appreciate or bounce until we get some of these trade deals done, Christy?
No, not really. You know, that's the biggest thing to watch is that you might be limited as far as it goes to the top side just because you do have that looming over the market, specifically the soybean market. And until you really can get it together and start to know that we're going to have somewhere to place these soybeans, you're going to have a little bit of a looming pressure onto the markets. And really that's going to spill over to corn and wheat as well, even though it's the biggest story into the soybeans.
That is also pressuring this basis. It's very wide historically right now, isn't it?
Yes, you're looking at basis levels because a lot of these elevators just have nowhere to place these beans. So we know on a volume wise you're going to be taking the corn, but the biggest thing to watch is where are they going to be able to place these, and then you're starting to worry of stories that they might just make you cash out versus being able to pay storage. Right now storage rates have started to go out to 7 cents a month versus 5% that or 5 cents that it typically is at, and that's one thing to just watch is, you know, are you going to be forced to sell, and if you are, these are some very, very wide basis levels you have to deal with.
All right, well, we appreciate your time, and thanks for joining us for market analysis, Christy Van On. And for more market analysis, you can go to our extended conversation at agweek.com. This week's Crop Stop takes us to Maynard in southwest Minnesota, where sugar beet harvest is already behind last year by about a month. Troy Grotus raises sugar beets, corn, and soybeans on 2,000 acres near Maynard. Heavy rains all season, up to 10 inches, have really hurt his sugar beet crop.
You can't fight Mother Nature. She won out this year in our area. We did the best we could. You know, people have cultivated, they've done everything, and it's just the diseases have set in. And you know, you plant disease-resistant beets, you spray them with what you can spray them with, and that's all we can do. And it didn't work this year.
Mickle also stopped near Granville, Iowa, where Richard Schneff was harvesting soybeans. He raises corn, soybeans, and hogs on about 500 acres. He says his beans are about 10 days ahead of schedule. Schneff says rainfall was about 150 to 200% of normal, but he's pleased with the prospect of 70 bushel beans.
It was timely, so it was spaced out for me, and I've got well-drained fields, so it's not been an issue for me at all this year.
Schneff says he forward contracted more than half his beans and is storing the rest while he waits to see what happens with the trade war and how it affects prices. Ahead on AgweekTV, we'll tell you about a local company's invention that's making unloading grain safer and easier.
Mayo Manufacturing, your Red River Valley source for Batco. Mayo Manufacturing, your Red River Valley Batco dealer.
Stein Seed Company is home to one of the most prolific, highest-yielding corn and soybean breeding programs in the world. When it comes to research, yield is what matters most. With the largest private soybean breeding program in the U.S. and the industry's most aggressive corn research, Stein is in a class of its own when it comes to developing new, higher-performing seed. Choose genetics. Choose results. Give Shane Kylo a call at 701-866-9864 to learn what Stein seed can do for your operation.
My name's Joel Kaler, owner-operator of Kaler Farms in Lidgerwood, North Dakota. We make a patented product called the Cornstalk Guide. It's made out of UHMW, ultra-high molecular weight poly, which is extremely durable. Typically what you'll see on corn heads is the idler chain in the sprocket sticks out. We attach to the side of a snout. Our product will keep all the wear off the snout and get it to come into the head smoother without bouncing.
Dig, lay, and bury drain tile all in one pass with the Crary Tile Pro Plow. The Crary Tile Pro Plow lays tile up to 7 feet deep with boot sizes of 4 to 12 inches. Advantages of installing drain tile to your field provides increased overall yield, improved soil moisture levels, and controls soil erosion. It pays to tile with a Crary Tile Pro. To locate a dealer near you, visit www.crarytilepro.com.
With the all-new GreenFit system from Ricard, plug and play is finally a reality when using John Deere AutoTrack guidance with existing new products like the Challenger 1000 series or all-new C-Series rogators from Butler Machinery. GreenFit is an authorized navigation interface that utilizes the existing John Deere AutoTrack guidance system to steer most Challenger tractors and sprayers. GreenFit eliminates the worry of learning and converting to a new steering system when buying an industry-leading Challenger from Butler Machinery. Learn more about GreenFit at butlermachinery.com.
This week, Green Plains Ethanol shuttered 2 of its plants in Iowa and cut production at another facility in Minnesota. It's thought to be in part the result of plant waivers granted by EPA. Gerald Bachmeyer, president of the North Dakota Ethanol Producers, says the future of the industry is dependent on policy. That includes defending the renewable fuels standard and keeping the mandate at 15 billion gallons for conventional biofuels. He says EPA should also disallow plant waivers for large refiners and approve E15 sales year-round.
The most critical thing moving forward till obviously 2022 is maintaining the RFS and the RIN. And the ability for EPA not to just loosely hand out refinery waivers and do that demand destruction.
He says continued expansion of ethanol exports would also benefit the industry. Time is money on the farm. Difficult conditions can cause problems that slow you down, but they can also cause safety hazards. For example, cold, wet grain storage conditions can cause blockages, but Superior Grain Equipment can help solve this problem.
With low grain prices, farmers are storing more of their crops until prices rise. But if you don't have good storage, the crop can degrade and lose value. Wet storage conditions and frozen matted grain can cause blockages during unloading, and that means delays, repairs, and safety hazards. About 2 years ago, Superior Grain Equipment developed the Blockbuster auger to solve those problems.
So the Blockbuster is there to help break up blockages in the auger. If something gets jammed up in the center gate, you want to be able to get it out of there without having to get in the bin, and it's real easy. You just turn the Blockbuster on and it reverses that little section of auger and breaks up whatever blockage could be in the way, causing issues.
The Blockbuster auger keeps your equipment running safely by breaking up obstructions near the center sump gate to allow for continuous grain flow. It operates from outside the bin, an important safety factor.
Big advantage of it is you don't have to enter the bin for any reason. You can engage it from outside the bin, reducing any safety hazards or anything like that.
This unique patented system is the only one that's actually part of the sweep, and it's only available with Superior Grain Equipment's premium unload system.
Most bins have sweeps in them. It's already part of it. All you have to do is switch in reverse and you're unblocking your sump.
There are other similar systems, but none are part of the sweep, so Clemens says farmers have been excited to try it.
We've sold a lot of them this year, and it's something that really excites the market.
Can you imagine a farm running completely without people? Ahead on AgweekTV, we'll tell you about a Fargo company working to make that happen.
Luckin Trucks and Parts sells quality used parts for all makes and models. With over 50 acres of trucks and parts and new inventory arriving daily, Family owned and operated since 1966, Luckins specializes in the sale of quality used medium to heavy duty truck parts as well as pre-owned trucks, trailers, and construction equipment. If it's on a truck, we got it. Call us today and let us get you your part.
DTE is your headquarters for flatbeds and service bodies for your truck. Whether you need to haul bales, heavy commercial equipment, or take every tool with you, DTE has the truck equipment you need. We have over 200 units on hand or will custom build a flatbed or service body on your truck.
Like this Dewey's bale bed with dual lift cylinder arms. Lift, load, and handle your bales with ease.
When you need help at the farm, your business, or in the oil patch, count on DTE. DTE, let us build a truck for you.
For over 40 years, Northside Implement has been your Gell and Vermeer dealer in Webster, South Dakota and Lidgerwood, North Dakota. With new equipment including feeding, grain handling, haying, and skid steer, as well as a nice selection of used equipment including sprayers, spreaders, seeding, as well as tractors and loaders. Northside Implement stands behind the equipment they sell with quality service guaranteed. See us for all your repairs and parts, from tillage to skid steer loaders to combines and everything in between. Contact Dave, Lydell, Tom, or Chris today at Northside Implement or visit our website for our complete equipment listing.
Steffes. We have representatives everywhere. Through North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, and Minnesota, we can find a buyer for what you are selling. We know how to market your farmland or equipment. Give us a call. We'll sit down and tell you all about the Steffes way.
This is Dennis Belisky reminding you we do auctions and we do them well. You've built your operation with hard work, and when it's time to sell, all or part, you deserve the best. Details from repairs and preparation to promotion and settlements are not routine. Chances are you'll only do this once, so we'll tailor an auction just for you and get it done right. On site at your farm or added to one of our highly successful Alaris Center auctions, we have the skill, reputation, and integrity to meet your needs with best-in-class commitment and quality service. Find us at resourceauction.com or call 701-757-4015.
The AgweekTV Ag Tech Minute is brought to you by Bushel.
A Fargo company has ambitious plans to create the first farm run entirely with machines and technology. Emerging Prairie's Greg Devine explains in this week's Ag Tech Minute.
Emerging Prairie is an organization that exists to connect and celebrate the entrepreneurial ecosystem. So the problem we're trying to solve is, what would it look like to have the first 100% autonomous farm? So we're calling it the Grand Farm Initiative, and we've identified a piece of land that we hope by 2025 can be farmed, maintained, taken care of autonomously. So this is going to take a tremendous amount of work looking at policy so that autonomous vehicles can come in and off the farm, that the crops can be planted, managed, maintained, water, fertilized autonomously, that the product can be sold autonomously, and that 100% of the process would be managed by intelligent machines. We're not sure that anybody has put a flag in the ground and is working towards it. We think this region has the opportunity and the inherent right, based on its history of innovation, to have the first 100% autonomous farm.
Thanks for watching this week's edition of Ag Week TV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com or download the Ag Week app. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. See you next week.